So my suitemates and I lived in 314 on the third floor, or 3.14, the pie suite. You know why the title of this video is the title of this video. I want to ship something on eBay to someone in 316 in the same hall, and I asked them if the sign for 3.14 was still a post-it note, because my sexy roommate wrote a post-it note because somebody had taken the 3.14 sign off the actual wall. But they never answered me. I should really go find out.
If you thought crazy stuff only happened to me when my family was around, you'd be sorely mistaken. I've always been a magnet for crazy, especially during the school years.
So sophomore year of college was pretty much the best year ever for me because I didn't have a roommate. I wasn't supposed to start without a roommate, but it just happened that way. I was supposed to move in with Smokestack Shirt, who was a Fighting Penguins roommate freshman year. And the day before school started, I sent Smokestack Shirt a message. I'm like, all right, which one of us is bringing the TV? And Smokestack Shirt's response was, you are. You're also bringing everything because I'm not coming to school. And I was like, what? He had changed schools, but just never told me about it. And one of the weird things I learned is that you cannot buy a single. You can be put in a single, but you can't like pay outright for the single, and that means you're not allowed to put anything on either side, on the other side of the room. Yeah, you can't buy a single in college. You can be put in a single, but you can't buy just a single. So if you're living in there and you don't have a roommate in the dorms, you're not allowed to put stuff on the other side of the room. My mom kept putting food and stuff in the other set of drawers. And one time they came in during a inspection or what have you, because you know they do that to make sure you're not hiding any shit. Well, there's been plenty of people who were hiding shit in the dorm that they didn't say shit about. Because I can tell you, after I graduated, I think the year after I graduated, there was someone who lived in the same dorm as me, got really high on shrooms. Like, he had way too many shrooms. Like, there's a limit of shrooms you should take before really weird shit starts happening. And this guy was like, he just like shot a mortar way past that line. He got super paranoid and held his suitemates hostage with a katana. I'm telling you now, I'm pretty sure katanas are contraband on campus. Anyway, they came by during the inspection. They opened the doors. They're like, you can't have stuff in here. You're gonna have to pay for both sides. And I was like, nobody else is here. And they were like, well, then you'll have to pay for a single. And I'm like, I mean, if you're offering, no, it's a punishment. I'm like, huh? What? Why? I would love to just have the single. That's not to say I didn't almost have roommates. I say I didn't have a roommate, but I had a roommate for 2 days. We're gonna hear about him in a little bit. Before then, I had some almost roommates. When the second semester started up, I was supposed to get a roommate, a Chinese student, international student. When the time came for school to start, he just never showed up. Didn't say anything to the school, and the school kept asking me if I heard from him. Because, you know, I talk to the Chinese kids all the time. I'm like, no, this one just never came. Like, I may know all the ones on campus, but they have to get to campus first before I can know them. Though that's not entirely true. I did meet some of the Chinese students on QQ, the Chinese messenger, before they came to school. But this guy just never contacted anybody. We still don't know where he is. Maybe he got lost. And he's still lost. What? 8, 9 years later, maybe he's still lost. That poor child. And then we had this awesome guy. He came by. He was like, I'm thinking about living with you. And the funny thing is, because I was never home, like I was always out with international students, that I wasn't home when people would come to the room, because you get to check out the room and the suite before you move in if you're gonna change rooms. And this guy's on the basketball team. He's the nicest guy ever, actually. He came, and he actually came on a day when I was in the room. So he came in, and we played Smash Brothers with him for like 2 hours, and then we didn't hear from him again. And I saw him in the hall one day, and he was like, I was like, hey man, what's up? Are you gonna move in? And he was like, nah, see, you guys got a good thing going, and you don't really party like I do, so I don't want to intrude and mess that up with parties and stuff. And I was like, wow, you're a really nice guy. I wish you all the best, man. I still see him around campus sometimes. He was actually a bouncer at one of the bars in town for a while. And like, being that nice, I don't see it, I can't see him as a bouncer. But he's not the only person that lived in our suite that happened to be a bouncer. Like, being that nice, I just don't see you being, like, it doesn't, I can't picture him being a bouncer. I just can't. And then my actual roommate that I had for 2 days, this guy moved in. He's kind of a creeper. He was a mouth breather as well. He moved in, and I find out about an hour after he moves in, I get a message. They're like, you know, one of our friends has a restraining order against him, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what? To be on campus and to have a restraining order against someone is really weird. And that particular friend didn't visit us that often, but I went down to my RD and I was like, I think we have a problem. The policy for that is weird. See, the reason our friend had a restraining order against him is because our friend was dating his ex, who he started stalking once they broke up. And stalking is not cool. Okay? It's just not cool. And so, restraining order, our friend talked to the RD. The process of getting someone moved when they have a restraining order against them is really weird, because RD was like, all right, we're gonna get him out of there, but don't tell him. And I was like, why wouldn't I tell him? And my RD, she looked at me, she's like, because he may have a negative reaction to you telling him that you're kicking him out. And I'm like, I'm not really scared of mouth breather guy. I just felt bad because he moved in all his stuff. Like, he brought all his stuff across campus, put it in the room. He was all set up to be my roommate, and then they were like, no, get out. And I was like, that's so mean. Why wouldn't you tell him beforehand so he could just stop moving stuff in? The other weird thing though was that my family was always in the suite for no reason. They would just show up and they would hang out, and like, my mom would fucking like clean shit in the suite in the common room, and well, you may think that's nice, but my family would stay there when I wasn't. Like, I wouldn't even be in the dorm anymore. I would be out at an event or something, and I'd come back and my family would be there, and I'd be like, who keeps letting you in? What the fuck? And like, because my family was always there, and none of my suite mates like my family, for many good reasons, yes. My suite mates would also leave the suite or be locked in their rooms, and my family would just be wandering around and be, get the fuck out! You don't live here! It's kind of like the Banshee now, when she just shows up. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna fix everything, and I'm gonna be here, and it's my stuff too. And no, it's not! Go to your own fucking house. Go to your own fucking house. I don't know why my family thought it was cool just to hang out in my suite. Like, no. I realized the Banshee, I know I've told you guys before that the Banshee thinks that all of our friends in the family are also her friends by proxy. So last week, the Banshee calls me and she's like, hey, I'm gonna be in Valley of Vegeria's hometown. So can you ask her if she wants to hang out with me? And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. And I sent Valley of Vegeria a message. I'm like, my sister wants to know if you'd like to hang out with her today. And she goes, don't you even tell her. Like, she doesn't live in her hometown anymore, which is even better, but she's, don't you dare tell her where I live. And it was Tuesday, which, you know, is the Banshee's, it's her day! So, you know, it was Tuesday, so Valley of Vegeria would be like, no. See, this is her day for you. Don't you dare give her to me. No, she stays with you. And I was like, yeah, okay, you got it. That's what I thought. I figured you didn't want to hang out with her. Why would she even ask that? And I was like, don't you know? You're her best friend too! Oh, let me tell you about my sexy roommate now. Do you guys remember this? This fine blade of PVC and duct tape craftsmanship. This my friends, this is the butthole spacer. I don't remember where it came from. It came from a bunch of people with the fighting penguin and the Laundry King LARPing, I'm going to assume, because this definitely looks like a LARP blade. But it became the butthole spacer, and it was used to terrify my roommate on many an occasion. My sexy roommate, who joined us as a junior year. My sexy roommate. And you might be like, well, why is it called the butthole spacer? Well, that's easy. It's because we would scare him by saying things like, I'm gonna use this to space out your butthole, and then I'm gonna crawl inside you like a tauntaun. Because I am a sick freak and I enjoy other people's pain. Now, my door was never locked in college. There were 2 occasions in the entirety of my time in the Pie Suite that the door was locked. One you're gonna hear about in a later episode. And the other time was when my sexy roommate and his lady friend at the time were having super sexy fun times. Now, I am very not used to the door being locked, so the one time they were doing that, I'm sure it wasn't the one time, but the one time I came back while they were doing that, they had locked the door. And because the door to my suite was never locked, what had happened was, because I was very unused, this is a new angle. I know you guys are kind of like, whoa, what's this about? But this is the little corner alcove. It's basically all video game posters, movie posters. And this wall, which you can't see right now, but I'm waving at, maybe in a future video you'll see, is all turtle posters. Because I fucking love the turtle. My summer wardrobe right now is like 50% turtles and 50% turtles and Deadpool shirts. Like it's absurd how much turtles memorabilia I have. So in this little alcove, we're just gonna pretend this is the suite door. And the one time he locked the door, I came home and I'm so not used to the door being locked that I came into the suite and I went, hey, what's up? And the door was locked, but it didn't occur to me that the door was locked until I smashed my face into it. Hey, what's up? Oh, damn it! Why is the door locked? And my sexy roommate, I hear, and I hear like the shuffling of clothes, and I hear someone jump out of the bed and like land on their feet, and he runs over to the door, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? And the doors had a peephole to our bedrooms, and he looks through the peephole, and I'm like cradling my head, and I peep through the peephole, and I see he's shirtless, and I'm like, oh yeah, you guys have your fun in there, but my head really hurts. Now, my sexy roommate, he got the moves. One time, when I had threatened him with ye old butthole spacer, I then told him I was going to crawl into bed and cuddle with him. And his bed was up against the wall under the window. And I'll never forget, I told him I was just about to crawl in bed and cuddle with him because I wanted a cuddle buddy, and I was gonna hug him and love him and squeeze him to death. And I'll never forget this. In one fluid motion, he all of a sudden, like, curled up like this in a straight line. He rolled over twice on the bed, so now he's up against the wall. He's like this, against the wall, and so remember, snaps into place, rolls over twice, so he's up against the wall. He pushes his bed off the wall with his ass. He presses his ass up against the wall. Bed slides out, makes a hole. He then hops up, is still curled into a ball, falls into the abyss between his bed and the wall, and he just stays under his bed. And man, he's got what cat-like agility and reflexes to be able to be like, oh, roll, foop, shoom. That's it basically. Hup, roll, shoom, foop. Oh, didn't get in that ass. Also, you know, me talking about spacing out my roommate's butthole and, you know, wanting to crawl inside of it like a tauntaun probably didn't help with people thinking I was gay. Yeah, probably probably didn't know. Also, all the RAs we had in the Pie Suite were fucking awesome. Our first RA, no, maybe it was the first RA I wasn't really friends with, but the Laundry King was. First RA we had, she was one of those people that's always happy. However, every once in a while, someone would piss her off, and you could see, you know those people who are always happy, and you can see like a tiny crack in their facade, and you're like, I do not want to be there when they're gonna explode. Our first RA was like that. No, I don't want to be there when that happens. No. She'd be all, she'd have a high squeaky voice all the time, and she'd be like, yeah, let's do this, and then someone would cross her, and she'd be like, and I'd be like, getting the fuck out of here. And the Laundry King, who's oblivious to everything, was like, I don't know, I think she's always happy. And I'd be like, you better get the fuck out of there before she blows her top. Nope, I'm out. Later. Ninja. Finish. Then our next RA was the best RA ever. And she let us play darts in the hallway, which is something you shouldn't do. Because we had like a corkboard in the hallway, and we'd actually throw a corkboard. And it was an event, and we could win t-shirts and stuff for the dorm. But she just let us, like last week, just throw darts. And we were all fucking terrible at it. I'm also pretty sure that darts are contraband for a dorm, but whatever, we're friends with the RA, bam. So we were playing in the hallway and we kept missing the corkboard. It was awful. It was so bad. And we made all these little holes, and it was the last week. And she was like, guys, I'm gonna teach you something. When the walls are white and you make holes in them, how do you fill them? And we were like, I don't know. How do we fill them? Because that looks bad with all these holes in the wall. She was like, white out. And we were like, what? She grabbed a little thing of white out and brush over the hole. Bam! Good as new. No one will ever know. So there's probably a ton of holes in the wall in Deo Hall around where the corkboard is on the 3rd floor, because we whooped all of them. Shh, don't tell anyone. And then our RA after that, she was like, I want to do programs, and I want to hang out with each of the people in my group, in her, who she was actually RA of group. I want to do programs with all of you, and so give me a suggestion and we'll do it. And I was like, our suite was like, we can do anything we want, right? What? And we came to a consensus. Our idea for an RA event was for her to buy Dunkaroos with the RA budget and come to our room and play video games. And that's what we did. She came over to our suite, we played video games and ate Dunkaroos, and it was one of the best events ever! Best event ever! Now, our two, I'm gonna say, favorite suite mates as a whole, by far, we had the Yeti. We call him the Yeti because the first part of his name is Yet, and he's Albanian. I was gonna say, and he's Albanian, but really that doesn't mean anything. I'm pretty sure it's pretty hot in Albania. But I'm not sure because I'm American and I don't really understand geography. Yeti, one of our favorite suite mates ever, after a fighting penguin left the Laundry King's room in sophomore year, he had a plethora of suite mates all the time. He was getting new suite mates. He'd get a new suite mate every year. And we had the Yeti with us, who was awesome. He also was a bouncer at some of the clubs in New Paltz. Actually, he lives in my hometown now, which is weird and kind of funny, actually, when you think about it. And he was a boxer at home, so he's a pretty buff dude. But he's also just funny, and he laughs a lot, and he was awesome. And we got him to play DDR one time. We got him to play DDR just one time. Actually, I think it was technically Stepmania, but same idea. We got him to play it one time because he had seen us playing it all the time. And he was like, all right, fine, I'm gonna get in on this. He played one song, right? And the last note he hit was perfect. But the theme I had in Stepmania on would say, marvelous. And he finished the song. The last note he hit was a marvelous. And he goes, marvelous! Fuck it, I'm tired! And he goes into his room. And it was We were like, what? Marvelous. Fuck it, I'm tired. And he just went to sleep. And it was so funny. And then we had this thing going on where somebody had a penny in their pocket when they went to take a shit in the bathroom stall in our suite. And the penny fell into the toilet. No one wanted to reach in and get a penny. So we all would try flushing to get it down. And then we started to play a game wherein we would take a shit and we would see who could poop the penny down the toilet. And it was a thing. It was like a contest between us. And this one time, the Yeti tried, and he comes out of the bathroom and he goes, I did it! False alarm. And false alarm became our favorite thing ever. And we would get texts periodically from other suite mates, like on the status of the penny, like if it moved at all during someone's shit. Oddly enough, Round Steve was not the one who pooped the penny down the toilet. I got a text during finals week. Actually, while I was taking a final, I got a text from Rebel Monster that said, I've done it! The penny is down! And I was like, yeah! Well, I got out of the final and I read my text. Yeah! You take that shit, buddy! And everyone around me coming out of the final was like, the fuck?
Hey there, guys and gals. I hope you're enjoying Season 2 of On Fairy Tales, The School Years. As always, you can click the link on the left to see the previous episode, or you can click the link on the right to see the playlist, where you can see all the episodes so far. There are actually higher level creepers in this world than my parents, and all of them either went to or still go to do vaults.
Oh my god!